Yesterday we have discussed about the operating system we were talking about, and uh, the virtual machine, and how they have improved that product, okay, to overcome the drawbacks of the traditional infrastructure, and that named it the operating system as ESX, Elastic SkyX. Now we'll go uh, just basic an example to understand this technology again, okay, how it will be useful for an organization. Just before that, we'll see what is a server at all. We were we were discussing about this topic. We are saying like there is something called server all the time. So we'll see what is that server. Now we already aware of an operating system. What is an OS? Basically, the interpreter between you machine and a human. So the operating system developers, basically Microsoft, who is just an as unknown user. Who is this user, please? Microsoft has Windows operating system, and Unix is a family. It's not any company. So there are multiple companies based on that Unix platform. They have developed their operating systems. Okay, so these operating systems are categorized into two types again. Okay. Client OS that we are already working, Windows 7, Windows 10, all those Windows 8 operating systems. The same way, server operating system. The name itself will have server operating system. These operating system developers, every time when they develop new operating system, they will develop for based on two categories. One is personal use. This we already aware of it. Windows 7, Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10. These are all the our client operating system that we are already familiar and we are using them already. Server operating system, the name itself will have name itself will have the server. Okay, the Windows Server operating system 2008. This was very old, and now it's changed into 2012, 2016, 2019 is the very latest version, and 16 and 12 are widely used. 2008 is already outdated. Outdated in the sense like Windows XP also was a client operating system, and it is already outdated. We are not using, right, kind of thing. So people are not using 2000. There are few guys which are using 2008 as well, but they are upgrading to the next level, whichever the version. So while developing the operating system itself, these companies will develop in two flavors: client purpose and server purpose. So what is the difference? Like if you have a computer, if you install Windows 7, if you run something like what is 100 plus 100, you'll get the same output. Even if you install Windows Server operating system, okay, you will get the same output. Okay, the same output. Then what is the difference between these two operating systems? So then what is the difference between client operating system and server operating system? The client operating system will have the operating system to convert the architecture from the instructions from human language to machine level language. The server operating system will have extra information to run some business applications, okay, which basically doesn't have with client operating system. Something like very basic example, SAP. If you see SAP module, even it will not install on a client operating system. Okay. So if you try to install on server OS, then only it will install. So that means this operating system developers, while writing the code for this operating system, they'll keep in mind that to run the business applications, they will prepare separate operating system. It will be heavier than client operating system. It will have the same client operating system plus some extra information. So it will have extra information compared to client operating system. So it will be having more information inside this operating system, which is basically not needed for our personal use. మనం డే టు డే మన ల్యాప్టాప్లో యూజ్ చేస్తున్న టాస్క్స్కి ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అంతా అవసరం లేదు, బట్ బిజినెస్ అప్లికేషన్ రన్ అవ్వడానికి మాత్రం కావాలి. అందుకోసం సపరేట్గా డెవలప్ చేశారు పర్సనల్ యూస్కి, బిజినెస్ యూస్కి. ఓకే, ఈ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్స్ అంతా మనం ఆల్రెడీ వర్క్ చేస్తున్న వాళ్ళు, అట్లీస్ట్ అడ్మిన్ సైడ్ ఆర్ అప్లికేషన్ సైడ్ వర్క్ చేస్తున్న వాళ్ళు కొంచెం ఐడియా ఉంటుంది సర్వర్ ఓఎస్ అంటే. ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఐడియా, దట్స్ ఫైన్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే, business applications will install on this server operating system. Not only Windows, Linux also the same. I think you already connected, but sorry. Okay, even the like same like Windows, there is Linux also the same way. Red Hat Enterprise Linux and CentOS, everything. But the Linux operating systems more into server side only. So client side, no, basically very less people uses client or Linux OS on personal computers. If you use any personal computer or desktop computer, the Linux usage will be very less, not even 2-3%. Okay, out of 100, maybe 1 or 2 guys will be using, even maybe less than that only, because it's difficult to use. Like you have to run commands for each and every task. This is the problem. So the Linux mostly into server side only, and Windows also having 2 categories. So this client operating system will have extra information than the server operating system will have extra information than the client operating system. That is useful for business application. So I will refer SAP as an example in many cases, because it is easy to understand. So that's why I'll refer that. Okay. So there are many applications like that: SQL database, Oracle database, and Cisco UC communication application. Thousands of applications are there. Just I'm taking example few. This application, even you are like let's say if you are using a banking website, that banking website, Facebook application, WhatsApp, Gmail, everything will be running on here only. So we will use client operating system from your laptop or desktop or mobile, will connect to these applications which are running on this server operating system. Any question as of now? Fine. Okay. So we will use our laptop, mobile, or desktops to connect to these applications which are running in this operating system. Okay. Now, where this operating system will be installed? Okay. Same way, however, there are kinds of operating systems are available in the market. The computers are also available in the two ways. Computers are also two types: personal computers all the desktops and laptops comes under this category. Okay. Server computer. Computer manufacturers, the very top computer manufacturers like HP, Dell, Cisco, Lenovo. These are the top four vendors, computer manufacturer vendors in the market right now. Okay. These guys manufacture the computers and these guys develops the operating system. So while manufacturing a computer, they will again, like same way operating system they have segregated for business use and personal use. Here also the computers are segregated into business computers. They are called basically server computers and personal computers. All laptops and desktops comes under this category, personal computers. The server computers will be used to run the business applications. So most of us might have not heard about this server computer at all, but you might have heard server down situation. If you go to bank or if you go to any other location, you might have heard server is down, you have to wait for some time. Those kind of scenarios you might have heard, but you don't know what is the server computer and you might have not seen it. It will be very bigger than our normal personal computer, and even one person can't lift that. It will be heavier. But nowadays they're coming even smart computers. It will be lighter, but it will be very huge compared to personal computers. It will be very heavy and reliable. That means the computer RAM itself will be having starting from 96 GB, RAM itself 96 GB, 512 GB, even 256 GB. Even there are computers with 6 terabyte RAM. RAM itself 6 terabyte. Then you can understand how fast they work, how quickly they can perform our work. Okay, like that. CPU also still will have latest processors like Xeon processor. And hard disk doesn't matter. It depends on our usage. We will buy 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte or 6 terabyte. Depends on our usage. We will buy RAM and CPU. They will have very latest RAM and CPU, and will have lot of processing capacity. The name of the computers will be like this: HP Proliant DL 380 Generation 8, Generation 9, like this. Dell PowerEdge R720, like this. Cisco C240 M4, C260 M4, like this. Different models. There are thousands of models available. Just for example, I have listed few from the top 3 vendors. Okay, the computer names will be like this. The model names will be like this. And if you once you visit our lab here in Bangalore, so you can understand how it looks like. And we have placed some 2 servers here for our lab purpose. Okay. And these computers will have lot of memory, lot of CPU, hard disk, it doesn't matter. Okay. And they will be very reliable. Even if you drop from first floor, nothing will happen to them. So that much reliable. Our personal laptops, if you drop from first floor, we don't know what will happen. You have to buy another one. That will not be useful at all. It's so delicate. These are so reliable, like that. So they will have a lot of processing power. They can do a lot of compute calculations now compared to our personal computers. Okay. Now this server operating system will be installed on this server computer. This part we are familiar. Client operating system will be installed on client computers, basically the personal computers. Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10 machines, whatever we are using our laptops right now, these are into this category. We are very much familiar, and what we run here basically our personal work, project work, and your resume preparation and Facebook, Gmail, whatever we use it for personal use. We are aware of this model. And this model we have never seen, and we are not completely aware of this model also, because we are coming from a different backgrounds, different work experience. We're trying to learn this technology. Now the server operating system will be installed on this server computer, then only these business applications will be installed on this server operating system. Applications will be installed on OS only. So OS application is installed here on it, and this OS will be installed on a physical computer. Fine. And we, from our client computers, we will access those applications as though you are accessing your Facebook account, Gmail account, even WhatsApp, and banking website, whatever on a daily basis you use the same way. Okay. Fine. Just a minute. Fine, son. We will be like our banking website, Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, whatever we use, they will be running on this model, and we will be connecting from here to them. Okay, so the vice versa is also possible. You can install Windows Server operating system on a personal computer. It will not give you any error. But the problem is, if you install Windows Server operating system on your laptop, you have like, let's say 16 GB RAM on your computer, and then install application on top of it. Let's say Facebook website. There'll be thousands of members will be connecting to that application. That means it needs a lot of memory and CPU to calculate those instructions. So you need a lot of memory and CPU to process those many requests. So this 16 GB RAM is not enough. Like when number of connections are increased, the application use is increased, and the operating system is using this laptop and desktop, it will break that computer itself, because that much RAM is not enough. There are thousands of connections coming in, thousands of data being users are connecting to that respective application. Your computer cannot bear that traffic. It cannot serve that much of load. So that's why we don't install server operating system on personal computers and run business application. We don't do that. And this way also is possible. You can install client operating system on server computer. It will not give you any error or warning, nothing like that. You can install. But the problem is, if you want to buy this minimum, very basic server itself, it will cost you, the brand new server will cost you around 3 lakhs to 4 lakhs with 50, even at least 48 GB memory. Okay. Cost you this much amount money. So by spending so much money and installing a Windows client operating system and using it for Gmail, Facebook, and personal use, it's of no use. You are wasting so much of resources and so much money you are wasting. That's why we don't use this method as well. It's possible if we don't use it. So this will be used on personal and this will be used on the business. Understood? Now we'll see. Basically, if you have been to any banking, most of the time banks or some other any fraudy areas, you might have heard about like server is down, you have to wait for some time. The scenario we'll see. Let's say if you go to bank, the teller will be from their laptop. They will be connecting to their website, banking website here, and they will trying to enter deposit money in your account. Okay. Via this way, they will enter here. Once via the application, they will enter the data, and it will be processed by the operating system. It will be stored in the hard disk. In this overall experience, let's say there is a problem with this application. Okay, so application is not working. Operating computer is working fine. Your hardware is fine. This operating system is fine. The problem is with the application is not working. Something like you're able to open your laptop and it is powered on, logged into your desktop, but you are trying to open VLC player to watch a movie. It's not opening. The rest all are working fine. Your other music apps and other Microsoft Word documents, you are able to browse, everything is working. Only VLC application is not working. You are not able to watch movie. There is a problem with that respective application only. Okay. The same way here, this application is not working. Operating system is fine and computer is fine, hardware is fine. In that situation, these guys, who is sitting in bank teller, right, they will not be able to connect to this application. They're trying to open that application, or application is not working because there is a problem with that application. Now what they will say that server is down, you have to wait for some time. Even they are not aware of this model, where are the application coming from. They might have thinking from single computer. They don't know this model at all. They will say computer server is down, you have to wait for some time. We don't understand basically, until before this class we don't understand what is basically server, and basically we feel that that's a respective service is down, we have to wait for some time. Okay, but actually server is not down. Server means this server computer, or at least this operating system, but both are healthy. Only that application is down. Okay. Now let's say application is running fine, there is a problem with operating system. OS is down. When you power on, hardware is fine, this hardware computer is fine. When you power on, hardware is powering on, but OS is not booting up. Okay. It shows blank screen and stuck there only. There is a problem with this operating system, but application was fine. But when the operating system itself not booting up, application also will not come up. Now also they will not be able to access this application in this case also, because the underlying OS itself down, application will not come up. In this case also, they will say that server is down, you have to find out. But here the scenario is different than the first scenario. Okay. Now, next scenario, the hardware itself problem. Motherboard itself crashed. You are trying to power on, even the computer is not powering on only. Okay. Then even though if the operating system is healthy inside that computer, it will not also power on. You will not be able to see its monitor. Application also will not go. In this condition also they will say server is down. But where is actually, in which scenario actually the server is down? Basically, at least when this computer is down, we can say server. From now onwards, instead of calling it as server computer, I'll just call it as server only. Server means this computer, physical computer, not even the operating system. Just say, think about personal, the server computer. Okay. Fine. Any other question? So business application will be running on this model, physical computer with the server computer with the server operating system, and then application on top of it. Okay, we will be working that applications using our client machines. Fine, understood what is a server now? Just for you, as we are running online classes, I can't show you the server directly. I'll just show in Google. Like PDL PAT Gen 9. You'll see Generation 9 server. The server will look like this. This is front end and back end. Here it is one image, will have both. If you open the box, it looks like this. It will be very huge CPU box. You can see 1,46,000. That is also used. Somebody is already using. You're trying to sell it for this much price. Not the same way. It looks like this. Now understood what is a server we are referring to? This is completely our personal computer. Here is on the server side. Any question until here? Okay, now understood the types of operating system and types of computers. The business application, every business, even if it is software, manufacturing, or engineering, or even pharmaceutical, or any kind of organizations, they will run their business applications on top of this model. That's why they need admins like us to take care of that infrastructure. Got some idea? What is a server? Okay. Now we'll just take one example. Okay, one of the organization has 10 applications. One organization, like one company has some 10 applications for their employees and for them whatever they are producing something. Let's say Flipkart itself. We have like thousands of servers, just for example. Okay. Flipkart running with some 10 applications, company called Flipkart. Okay. Let's say they have purchased one computer. I'll say this is a physical server. Our computer, whatever we have discussed as 100 GB RAM, something like that. And running with Windows Server 2016. And if they install one application is installed here, now it is using some 20% of the RAM only. If they feel that it's 20% utilized, let's install another application. We have 10 applications to install, right? On one computer, one application is installed. Let's say if they are trying to install one more application here because they have enough RAM. Sometimes these kind of two applications, not only these two applications, any, let's say for some reason, the installing the second application, they both will try to access the same operating system file. They both need something to write on this operating system parallelly at the same time. రెండు ఒకేసారి ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టంలో ఉన్న ఏదో ఒక ఫైల్ని యాక్సెస్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాయి. రెండు ఒకేసారి యాక్సెస్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేసినప్పుడు అది వర్క్ అవ్వదు. ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అలొకేట్ చేయలేకపోతుంది. ఓకే, ఏదైనా ఒకదానికి ఇచ్చినా ఇంకోదానికి వర్క్ అవ్వదు. సో ఇట్లా ఇన్స్టాలేషనే వర్క్ అవ్వదు. అలా రెండు సిమిలర్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ఒకే మెషిన్ లో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయడానికి పాసిబుల్లే కాదు. అప్పుడు ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయలేము. ఒకవేళ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసినా వర్క్ అవుతున్నాయి అనుకుందాం. లెట్స్ సే ఒక 4-5 అప్లికేషన్స్ అలాగే ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసేసారు. 5 అప్లికేషన్స్ ఒకే మెషిన్ లో ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశారు. ఇప్పుడు ఈ మెషిన్ లో ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చింది అనుకుందాం. లెట్స్ సే మదర్ బోర్డ్ is crashed or operating system is having some issue, either problem at hardware level or the problem at the OS level. All the 5 applications will be stopped working. Right? Definitely, if operating system is down, applications which are running on top of it also will be down. If there is a problem with this hardware, all the 5 applications will be impacted. So one failure causing many applications to go down. Huge impact. Okay. A 5 applications, something like for example, like employee phone number, telephone number, phone, email and chat, 3 applications ఉన్నాయి. ఈ 3 ఒకే మెషిన్ లో ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఒక ఫెయిల్యూర్, ఒక హార్డ్వేర్ ఫెయిల్యూర్ లేదా ఒక ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ఫెయిల్యూర్, 3 డౌన్ అయిపోతాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ వర్క్ చేస్తున్న ఎంప్లాయ్ ఈ ఫోన్ ద్వారా కానీ కస్టమర్ కి కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వలేడు, ఈమెయిల్ ద్వారా కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వలేడు, చాట్ ద్వారా కాంటాక్ట్ అవ్వడు. ఇట్స్ కంప్లీట్లీ బ్యాడ్ డిజైన్, రైట్? సింపుల్ వన్ ఫెయిల్యూర్ కాస్ట్ మెనీ అవుటేజెస్ అండ్ ఈవెన్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో రిడన్డెన్సీ. అంటే వేరే ఆప్షన్ లేకుండా అది అయిపోయింది. ఫైన్, అండర్స్టూడ్? లైక్ దట్. Okay, so that's the reason people will not install multiple applications on one machine itself. So on one machine, one application only will be installed. Now, out of 10 applications, one application is installed. Then what about one more remaining 9 applications? Here, this machine is 20% only utilized. 20 out of 100 GB RAM, 20 GB RAM only used. But still we are wasting 80% of the RAM. But still we want to install 9 other applications. Company has to buy one more server computer. They have no other option because of the design that we discussed now. They will buy one more server. Install Windows Server 2019, whatever operating system they have. Install another application. Here also the same. Maybe they will be using 30% of the resources. Remaining will be sitting idle. Okay. They want to install 8 more applications. 2 applications are only installed. Okay. Like that, they have to buy so many number of computers. So they will buy another physical computer. Let's say total 10 servers they will buy. Server, let's say Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6 Linux operating system, and some the 10th date application as a database, Oracle DB. Okay, now all the 10 applications are installed here. On this traditional mode. Okay, this is a traditional mode, traditional infrastructure. Traditional in a sense, like before that new technology, any new things are coming into the picture, so they are using, everyone using those things. Traditional infrastructure. Okay. So here there are some drawbacks. Like everyone used to follow this model until the year 2000 because they had no option. So that's how everyone used to buy one physical computer, install operating system and business applications. There was no other option. Alternate option was available. So even though they are wasting so much resources, they used to follow because they are getting enough profit on that. Okay. So the people, as I said, like few guys, like 3 guys, identified some drawbacks. Okay. One is underutilization of resources with this model. Underutilization of resources. That means let's say even though you have 100 GB memory here, only 20% utilized. Remaining 80% are sitting idle. So that is underutilization. We have enough resources. We already paid for it, but we are not using that much. We are not giving that much work to this computer. That's underutilization of resources. Simply wasting money directly in purchasing the hardware. Second one is space. If you want to place 10 computers, how much space we need? Okay. How much space we need? If you want to place 100 machines, how much space you need? Okay. In India, at least, okay, we have a cheaper rental and lease programs, but outside India, every square feet they charge. If someone is occupying someone else location for data center to place these servers in a separate building, every square feet they charge. And power consumption. Power bill for 10 machines, power bill for 100 machines. There is a variation, right? Like that. When the more hardware increases, more power consumption, direct power consumption and also air cooling. Next, hardware maintenance. When there is more hardware, then there will be more hardware failure chances will be there. Okay. Like memory modules may be failing, keyboard might be failing, fans inside that computer may be failing because they're always running 24/7. They will be powered on and running. But throughout, like there are customers who computers are running for 1500 days, almost 5 years, more than 5 years without power off. They are running. Okay. If you have proper air cooling and there is no hardware failure, they will run. If there is any hardware failure, we have to get it replaced. I talk to the hardware vendor. I love that. So hardware maintenance and the administrators. If there are 10 servers, at least 3 members are enough. If there are 100 machines, they need 5 to 6 members. If there are 1,000 machines, you need 10 to 15 members to take care of that infrastructure. Okay, like that admin power. So overall, if you look at this, there is directly cost involved. These are the drawbacks they identify. Why are we wasting? We spend so much money, and why are we wasting so much of resources? First point. Rest all, when you are purchasing more number of hardwares, these are all the drawbacks. Directly your cost investment will be increased. You have enough profits for the investment that you made, but that's fine. But simply, why are we wasting so much of resources here? With that point, these guys have developed, they formed an organization called VMware, and they have developed new operating system. Okay. That we have already seen. Instead of running with traditional model by a server computer, the same like other computers. Physical server install with a newly developed operating system here, that is called ESXi. We'll discuss about that name. So install that newly developed operating system. VMware developed new app. Create folders on top of it. This will be called virtual application, virtual machines. Yesterday we have seen this will be a virtual machine. Virtual machine 2. Virtual machines will be created, and here you can install Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019. And here on top of this, the applications will be installed. Instead of running 10 computers, now one machine itself can serve almost 5 to 10 servers. Depends on RAM here. We can build number of folders. Yes. On one computer, we can run multiple virtual computers with this newly developed operating system, with this new operating system. And then on top of it, the business applications will be running on individual operating systems. They are completely independent. So this machine is nowhere related to this machine or this machine. If it is running with Windows, this can be Linux. If it is powered on, this can be powered off. So completely they are independent. Even though they are running on a same hardware, same physical server, they completely act as a individual computers, separate computers. Now we have, instead of purchasing 10 physical computers, we have purchased only one and running all the 10 applications on one machine itself. Okay. So here the usage of this computer is, let's say, almost 80%. Yeah. If you power on one more folder, it will consume more. So this problem is overcome. Now our hardware is efficiently used compared to older traditional infrastructure. This on the new VMware infrastructure, okay. So on the new VMware infrastructure, we are utilizing 80% of the underlying hardware. We're using 80%. That problem has overcome. Space for 10 computers, space for one computer, that is also reduced. Power consumption, power bill for 10 machines, power bill for one machine, obviously reduces. Hardware maintenance, failure chances on 10 machines versus failure chances on one machine, that is also overcome. Admin power, like instead of having like 5-6 admins, 3 members are enough to cover 24/7. Or if it is only one for this company, one guy is more than enough. Okay. Even the ad hoc request, you can take on call, something like that. We'll see those things later. So this everything has been reduced compared to traditional infrastructure. With this infrastructure, and these problems have been overcome. Okay. And the performance is exactly same. However, they were getting whatever the profit they were getting here, they are getting here exactly the same, not above or not below. Profit wise, performance wise, it's same. Only thing, they reduce their investment on the IT infrastructure. Just hi, I'm back. Okay. So overall, the performance-wise, the performance and the profit, it will be same. And the back end, they will reduce their investment in the infrastructure. Like almost the industry average value was considered as 10:1 range. Investment can be reduced. That's what I said. Like if you are investing at 10 rupees earlier and you are gaining 100 rupees as profit, now you can invest 1 rupee and still gain the same 100 rupees as profit. Okay. Can achieve with this new technology. So here the your profit is same, okay, output is same. Here your investment is reduced with this new technology compared to traditional technology. That's where people started migrating or moving towards this new technology. And many people nowadays, like people started in their organization itself with this new model instead of building here and moving there. So directly they are moving. Directly they are setting up their infrastructure with this model itself. Okay. So I was talking one word called a data center. The building, the secure building, which will be used to place these server computers, storage. We'll see what is the storage devices, server, storage, network. So to connect multiple computers together into internally or internet via, we need to buy network switches and all those. We'll discuss the storage and network topics later. To place these are all physical devices. Physically, like physical servers, the storage devices will be there, network devices to connect to the internet and all. Okay, so we will place them in a secure building. That building is called a data center. Okay, wherever that company has started, they will buy some. They will take some secure building for rental purpose, and that will call where these devices are placed together is called a data center. Okay. So any question as of now here?
No, sir.
Okay. You can ask me one question, like in the traditional model, like if you say like if I install multiple, let's say I have installed all 10 applications here. If there is a problem on single hardware or problem on single operating system, will cause 10 applications to go down. That means one failure can cause multiple uh, applications will be impacted. The same way here also, one failure, either hardware level or at this operating system level, will cause major impact, right? Single failure can cause multiple applications to go down. Okay. So for that, they have, even though this is a new technology, has a lot of advantages. Not only this outage, there is a feature called HA for that. If there is any problem here, unexpected failure here, immediately these machines will be powered on a different machine. Minimum two machines we need to have, like this similar machines, two machines. From one machine to another machine, they will go automatically. Here, that option was not there. If there is any problem, until you fix this problem, this will not come up at all. మనం ఫిక్స్ చేసేంత వరకు ఈ అప్లికేషన్ రన్ అవ్వదు. ఇక్కడ అలా కాదు, మన ప్రాబ్లం ఈవెన్ వచ్చిందని తెలియని కూడా తెలియదు. ఆ లోపల ఈ విఎమ్స్ అన్ని ఇంకో చోటుకి వెళ్ళి వర్క్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, అలా they will be available for more time. Compare those advantages we will see in the next classes. There are many advantages, not only that one, there are many advantages of when you use vSphere infrastructure. You can say reduce your investment, you can gain a lot of benefits around running your business infrastructure. Okay. Any other question? So if we could, then we will proceed tomorrow. So today we understood about the operating system models, two types of operating system, client operating system and server operating system. Computers are all two types, personal computers and server computers. We have seen the difference between running the business applications on personal computers versus server computers. So always the business applications will be running on server computers. Okay. Then the traditional infrastructure, if someone wants to run their business, so the traditional infrastructure will be like this. The 10 physical servers. Now, if you use vSphere infrastructure, we can overcome all these drawbacks in every company who is using their IT infrastructure like this model. And we have understood what is a data center. Data center means a secure building. Even the company founder will not have access to this building. The team who is working there only will have access. If they want access, they immediately they'll gain and enter into this building. So no one from our company will have access to this data center apart from the admins who is working there. Okay, like that. That much secure, I'm trying to say. Okay, the data centers all the time it will be secure. Fine. Any other question? Fine. If no question, then we'll continue. Okay. Hope you are fine with today's topic.